5 o'clock here in the morning, maybe 6, where I live, and the sky is a little bit hazy. We're in really southern Washington State, and they have fires from British Columbia which are causing a bunch of haze. You can't smell it, but you can see it. It's really weird. Anyway, the bike was the clutch wasn't catching right. It was spinning up way too high for the stock clutch. So what I did was I took out the rear pulley, front variator, the Dr. pulley weights, which are really good weights. Here's my clutch right here, which I call this a stock clutch because I use it to figure out the bike before I put my like $200 clutch on. This had some glazing on it, which I took off with sandpaper, and also I had some glazing on the clutch bell on the inside here. And then another thing I wanted to check was, I don't know if I can get this very good, but these are the 3 bolts that come through the case. And you can see one is, I'll have to do this real slow. Damn it. One of them is to the right of the crankshaft, and 2 of them are below. They hold the case together because the case is so thin due to the 54mm crank, or whatever the hell it is. What I wanted to check and see if I had any leaks, because I noticed a little oil down here, and the mistake I made was I was building the engine and I keep having these damn radiator leaks, and they were leaking right down into the crankshaft everything gallery. This is one reason you really want to keep your engines clean, because if I clean this up really well and I come back a month from now, 3 weeks, whatever, and I notice I'm leaking oil on the bottom there, then I know that it's not just some road grime. Then there's a problem, and your engine basically is an air pump. It sucks in air and fuel from this end, and fuel and exhaust go out that end. But the pump has to be airtight. This is why when you have a bike that you start up and it works okay, say it idles okay, and then it slowly and stops. What you have is a vacuum leak. You've got too much air going in. It's leaning out the mixture. It's not working. So what I did was, just to be safe, I took my handy dandy clutch cage right here. This is the old clutch, the old spring, which is probably in good shape. But since this old spring, or since the spring has been in for a few months, I'm going to replace it with another one. I cleaned the belt up really good. You can't have any oil or any kind of bullshit like that on the belts or your parts, because if you do, what happens is the engine gets hot, the oil melts, gets everywhere. It causes things to, just a lot of problems. So you want to keep everything really clean. You want to go through and check all your parts, make sure they're okay. I have a new Polini speed clutch, which has only got 2 springs in it, and I've been waiting to try that, but I'm not. You know what? I may just go get that. I may just go get that and put it on. See, when I get up in the morning, I'm all full of energy and this and that and this and that. And hi, Mason. That's our neighbor cat, and that's one of my cats. That's another one of my cats watching them. So let me show you the speed clutch here. I'm really going over time. I should be in my I should be working out. I think that's it right there. This is the clutch that I want to put on it. And I might as well just put the damn thing on. And has anyone ever used one of these before? This was like 150 bucks. I had to order it special. It comes with, this is a 2-part clamshell clutch. And it comes with 2 springs. The interesting part about this clutch right here is that you see the 2 springs right there, and then we have 2 other springs. My hand, here's that didn't fit. I got another one coming in. You can, with this Polini, change your clutch springs or adjust the clutch springs, something like that, without taking it off the clutch cage. So that, I think I'm just going to put it on there and say hell with it. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work that well, then I'll have to take it off again. But if it does work, I won't have to put it back on again. This is one of the things I'm going to add to the engine. Of course, I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I got all kinds of energy, and I've got to go see a client. And when I get back, I don't know. I'm going to get back, and hopefully I can just get all this work done. So here's stock clutch that I've been using, and here's the Polini, which I've had for a couple of years and never used it. It's really well built. It's heavy duty. Polini makes good shit, but it is expensive. And of course they have all the directions, which is nice because a lot of these things don't have directions. So I'm going to clean all this up. I mean, not clean it up, but I'm going to read up all about it, and we're going to put this clutch here. They make this clamshell speed clutch. They also make a 3-way one they call a delta clutch or something. It's like this one. I don't know if one's any better, but we'll see. Everything else, I'm not leaking. I did manage to find an old Uni air filter that will fit on the 30mm. That'll keep any oil out of the engine itself. The motor seems to be doing okay, but it's still kind of, it's dragging on the throttle. When I give it a lot of throttle right here, okay, then the clutch grabs. Now, it's not supposed to do that with this clutch, because this is just it's not a high-speed clutch. High speed means that you're at the starting line and you're giving your bike a whole bunch of gas, and then when you hit that high RPM, it kicks in. Now, that's great for being in a drag strip, but in a regular situation where you stop and go driving, it doesn't do you any good. Anyway, here's my mess I got right here, and I'm got to put it all back together when I get back. And hopefully I'll get to drive it today, and I'll use my camera on it. DIOSpeedDEMON, Operation Dio. We continue.